There are 19 different ways that you can sell, and they're all listed out here. Targeting blogs. Blogs are a good way to gain people's attention. It's inbound marketing. Content marketing we've talked about. Social and display ads. Email marketing. Offline ads are basically physical ads. Affiliates. You use other people to do your promotions or give out coupons or things like that. Platforms, trade shows, and speaking engagements. I think Clinton's speaking fees went up. My fee when I get invited to talks is I basically get sandwiches. I'm probably doing something wrong, but anyway, I think I'm just flattered that anybody wants to hear what I have to say. Oh wait, that's you. Anyway, in terms of technology, we have digital, we have traditional, and there's still a place for traditional. I mean, there's still something to be said about looking somebody in the eye and talking to somebody. And in certain cases, some of the older technologies do better. Like, for example, one big advantage of radio is people most of the time listen to radio in their cars. Guess what? You have a captive audience. When you're driving, you're less likely to change the channel as opposed to watching TV. And so these are the things that you think about. Not only that, you can find discount radio spots. In terms of strategy, you have to test. Your mentality has to be get customer number 1. And then I'll worry about number 1,000. Why? Because that's the customer you learn the most about. That's somebody who's willing to fork out money for your product. Asking for people's money is not a trivial thing. You can quantify your marketing, the journey. This is that you take them through the funnel. This is basically dating to marriage. And then you have to figure out what are good matches and what are bad matches. Critical path is the longest lead time. And so you need to figure out what's the shortest path to sales. And so you need to figure out what milestones are going to get you to traction. Like, for example, if I have an awareness promotion, how many people do I expect to hit? That's a metric. And you have to understand some of your biases. Like older people, for example, don't like social media. But let's face it, social media is one of the easiest ways to get hold of a lot of people. In terms of targeting blogs, here are some of the advantages of it. That people actually pay money to be in a blog. But the thing is, a blogger links to you, which helps your search engine profile. And so not all blogs work, and so that's why you need a tracking plan. The nice thing about software today, though, is that you can create separate channels to track what's going on with each of your promotions. Here's an example of digital campaigns, and this person chose to use 10 channels, and so there's a trade-off. Some channels have, like, for example, Paul Stematoy, I'm mangling his name, but anyway, 50% convert. He's got 50,000 followers, but only 5% click through. The other thing is about cost. Like, for example, supposing one of these small ones is costing me close to zero to maintain and it still brings in customers. Why should I shoot it down? As you can see, Google Ads, only 3% click rate, but on the other hand, the traffic is humongous. That's why I say that digital is a lot like a basketball game. There's one of two ways you can score points. Take a lot of shots, and then shooting percentage doesn't matter a lot, or have very high shooting percentages, but maybe you're taking less shots. An example of a targeting blog is Mint. And Mint was a blog, as you can pretty much guess, financial. It harvested for 170 million. It's a financial services app business. They had 20,000 users pre-launch, and it's because they offered premium services for referrals. Yes, content marketing. Giving away stuff is one of the easiest ways to get people to act. And he hit his goal by 10 times, and then he ended up selling. But what he did is he also used co-promotion ads. And he did this all through bloggers because he needed publicity. He needed people to talk about him. So the thing about bloggers is they have a very targeted audience. How do I go about finding blogs? You can search for it, product keywords. You can use those keywords to find saved links. You can use things like Twitter, look for social mentions, or use contacts. Talk to people. So those are the ways to find blogs and see if they pertain to you. You can, when you do blogs, test it. Make sure that they actually work. One thing you don't want to do is go into something blind and widespread, because if you're wrong, then you just, look kind of stupid. Publicity, the thing about blogs is they can amplify. That people take smaller blogs and kick it up to higher blogs. I'm working on a paper right now with a bunch of students, and one of the students is actually an alum. And her boss told her that, hey, if you write a really good paper, he said, go viral with it. He said, have other people pick it up. And that's something I never even thought of. But anyway, in terms of publicity, this is what you do. You focus on smaller sites and work your way up. You can also form relationships with people. I've been quoted in some semiconductor magazines for the simple reason that I got to know the publishers and they liked me because, probably because I said silly things. Meaning that, normally you get, well, this is a win-win situation for both companies. And so I feel, and they would ask me and I said, that's not going to work. But what it comes down to is, what's your story? In terms of search engine marketing, the pillars are authority, relevance, and trust. And that's, do they believe that what you're doing, that you're an authority on it? Does it pertain to me, and can I actually trust you? And so it's about keyword searching, content ranking, backlink research, meaning do the links to your site, are they quality links? Audit your sites, audit your links, build good links, and manage your links. So you can see a lot has to do with links, but links count for a lot when they do search engine. You're driving people to your site, try different AdWords, and look at the statistics. Now that's search engine optimization, people finding you. In terms of search engine marketing, the question is, do you want to buy ads? Do you want to, and a lot has to do with what your financial situation and what's the return. Again, Dropbox found out that they were losing money. Your keywords are key. There's advantages and disadvantages. You can have a very long word and it'll be very specific, but how many people are going to remember and know that word? And so look through the volume. Are you doing the fat head or the long tail? Meaning, are you offering a lot of products or focused on a certain area? And so it's all about building links, but beware of black hat techniques, meaning don't do something dirty or underhanded, because once people find out about it, that's the end of you. We've already talked about the social media giants. This is just as a review. We've talked about ads, and it's about how do you build affinity for what you're doing, and that never underestimate social media. For example, Care One was a debt consolidation company. So everybody said, oh no, you're bad news. Why on earth would you want to go on social media? But their argument was, no, we're perfect for social media, because when you get into financial trouble, that's an emotional thing, and emotional things tie in well with social media. And they were exactly right. And this is what I mean, get past your biases. There might be some things to try that you have never thought of before. And Airbrake is actually a software for bugs. And so they only paid $15 on Twitter and Facebook, and it drove thousands of people because people are concerned about software. And so that wraps up this video, and we'll wrap it up in the next one.